So Newcastle United have been the subject of a takeover bid, with Amanda Staveley and PCP Partners offering Mike Ashley around £300 million for the North East club, after the Sports Direct tycoon put it up for sale the other month. Staveley looks like the front runner to buy Newcastle, with the Joys excited by the prospect of a new owner and finances to take their side to new heights. However, a takeover isn't a guarantee of success, so today we're going to look at 6 takeovers from English football, 3 massive hits and 3 depressing misses. We'll start with a hit in Manchester City. It's no surprise that Man City wouldn't be where they are right now had it not been for the 2008 takeover. Before the Abu Dhabi investment, City were a mid-table Premier League team not really going anywhere, having spent time in the second tier in the not too distant past. But once Sheikh Mansour bought Man City, the foundations of the club changed forever, and it's not just been investment on the pitch that has made Man City into the mega club they are today. With the development of infrastructure, training and youth facilities, Man City's owners have made the club a big deal both on and off the pitch, planting the seeds for sustained success. 5 major trophies since 2008, the 1st of September 2008 will remain the biggest day in Manchester City's history for a long time. Our first takeover miss is Blackburn Rovers. Right now, Blackburn are in League One under the Venky's ownership, which is shocking considering they were a Premier League outfit when the Indian Chicken guys bought the club for £23 million in November 2010. They immediately sacked Sam Allardyce for no good reason, and he was replaced by Steve Keane, who managed to keep a hold of his job for almost 2 years despite fan protests and a relegation. Rovers were relegated to League One last season and became the first Premier League champions to drop into the 3rd tier. In 2016, the Venky stated their commitment to Blackburn after already ripping the soul out of the club, but things have got worse and worse since they arrived, the worst of all maybe being that chicken advert the players had to do. Back to the hits, and we've got Brighton. In 2009, professional poker player Tony Bloom replaced Dick Knight as the Seagulls chairman, providing £93 million investment to fund their new stadium, securing a 75% shareholding of the club. A gambling man, Bloom's money was used to develop Farmer Stadium, or the Amex as it's now known, a Premier League quality stadium that provided Brighton with a home they could grow in. Bloom's manager choices have often been successful, with only Sami Hyypiä doing poorly on the south coast. Under Bloom, Brighton have gone from League One to the Premier League and are certainly holding their own, with Chris Hughton's leadership accompanied by the investment made by the man known as the Lizard. Our next miss is Aston Villa. An American billionaire, Randy Lerner, fell into sports ownership, taking over the Cleveland Browns when his father passed away in 2002. 4 years later, Lerner decided to move into football, or soccer to him, taking over Aston Villa from Doug Ellis for £62 million. Lerner owned Villa for a decade, a tenure that started well while Martin O'Neill was in charge of the team. However, it soon went sour after he left, with poor manager choices, multiple sackings and massive financial losses, leading to Villa constantly flirting with relegation before Lerner put the club up for sale in 2014. From there, investment was limited, meaning the side struggled, and Villa were eventually relegated to the Championship in 2016 with not even a whimper. Dr. Tony Jarre took over the club, and Lerner ran back home with his tail between his legs, having failed the club for the previous 6 years. Our final hit is Chelsea. Another team that has had major success after a takeover like Manchester City. Chelsea's transformation hasn't been as drastic as City's, because at least they were at the right end of the table and had won a few trophies before Roman Abramovich arrived. But since 2003, Chelsea, or Chelsea as it became known, have been a top Premier League team, competing for and winning both league titles and European crowns, with Abramovich pretty much giving his managers a blank chequebook to bring in the players needed, firing and hiring gaffers when things turned sour. Now a worldwide brand, Abramovich's massive spending sent Chelsea to the top of the game, and they're now a profitable club, a club that has won 14 major trophies since Abramovich arrived, more than they'd won in their history before 2003. And finally, our last miss is Sunderland. Another example of a club sinking due to bad ownership, the Black Cats are desperate to see the back of Ellis Short, who has brought nothing but sad times to the Stadium of Light, despite dipping his hand into his pocket during the early days. The American arrived in 2008 and took full ownership a year later, initially working with former chairman and player Niall Quinn, who resigned in February 2012. Since then, there's been no stability at Sunderland, with Short sacking manager after manager, looking for short-term solutions to keep his club in the Premier League, with investment in players decreasing every year. It was a recipe for disaster for Sunderland, who eventually fell out of the Premier League last season and have since flopped in the Championship, with former boss Simon Grayson having to work on a minuscule budget. The Black Cats have been a disaster both on and off the pitch, which is why they are currently closer to League One than the Premier League. Another case of shocking ownership ruining a once proud club. So that's 3 takeover hits and 3 takeover misses from English football. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and how a takeover will impact Newcastle United. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.